Uzbekistan. It might not be on your travel list, and you might not know much, if anything, about this Central Asian country. But what I can tell you is that Uzbekistan shocked me. In a good way. Which is why today I'm taking you with me as I explore the ancient Silk Road city of Samarkand, Uzbekistan, revealing the city's rich history, jaw-dropping architecture, unique food, and cultural marketplaces. To start off the day, we are here at the Shah-i-Zinda Necropolis, which is a huge complex full of tons of different mausoleums where many nobles and royal people were buried. One of the most prominent mausoleums was built for the cousin of Prophet Muhammad, Qusam ibn Abbas, who came to Samarkand to spread Islam. In addition, some of Amir Timur's wives are buried right here in this necropolis. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Amir Timur later on, but essentially he was one of the greatest conquerors of all time compared to the likes of Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. And this is a beautiful necropolis with tons of amazing structures with blue teal tiles and incredible ancient alleyways. So let's go ahead and explore. So not only in the Shah-i-Zinda Necropolis are there tons of beautiful mausoleums, but there are also a couple of mosques, and I am outside one right now. It is beautiful. The architecture, the colors, the calm, tranquil atmosphere. And this mosque behind me is inactive, so it's not currently in use, but there is one on the other side of the necropolis that is still in use today, where people come and pray inside the Shah-i-Zinda Necropolis. Just a 5-minute walk away from the Shah-i-Zinda complex, we have made it here to the Siyob Bazaar, which is one of the oldest bazaars here in Central Asia, and I am with my local friend Assad. Assad, can you tell us a little bit about this bazaar?
We are now in one of the oldest bazaars in Central Asia, like Matt told you. You can find anything. You go inside the Siyob Bazaar, and from the beginning you can find the Uzbek halvas. Halva, if you know what's that, is the sweets. Is a Central Asian special sweets, the special Samarkand halvas, nougats, and after that bread. After that, here is the dried fruits. There is also milk products, honey. Anything you want, you can find here.
Perfect. Let's start exploring, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So in this section of the market, we are in a bunch of baked goods and breads. There are so many different kinds of baked goods and breads here, and a ton of different vendors, each with their own stall. Come across a stand with the traditional Uzbek hats, and my friend Assad was just telling me that the design of the hats actually indicates how old you are and how many children you have and whether you have daughters or sons and how many. So it's really interesting. Not only is it a beautiful hat, but it tells a lot about the person that you may not know yet. Here in this section of the Siyob Bazaar, there are a lot of dairy products, mainly cheeses. A lot of them are fermented cheeses, and they're turned into balls. Sometimes they're flavored with different spices as well. So it's really unique, something I have not seen before the Central Asian region.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, walaikum salam. Yeah.
Try.
And what are the options? This is cheese.
Yes.
Okay.
Shalom, Baruch haba, tavlinim.
Here in the bottom part of the bazaar, we have tons of different fruits and vegetables, and here we actually have some fresh pomegranate juice that we got. It's delicious. And here our friend is just making it, squeezing it fresh. It's such an incredible feeling walking through one of the oldest markets here in Central Asia. And even to this day, there are so many goods being traded, from bread to fruits, vegetables, household goods, clothes, and so much more. We have made it here to the Gur-i complex, which is where Amir Timur and some of his descendants are buried. Many people have heard of Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan, but few are familiar with Amir Timur, who was one of the world's most famous conquerors. He was born not far from Samarkand and built an empire stretching all the way from Istanbul, Turkey to current-day India. One of his many passions was building large constructions and beautiful architecture wherever he conquered new land. So of course, his mausoleum where he is buried is an incredible structure that we're going to go check out now. So now we are entering the mausoleum of Amir Timur, and the inside of this place is absolutely incredible. It's filled with such intricate design of blues and golds, and there's a huge dome. Check this out, it's magnificent. So my local friend Asada was actually telling me that Amir Timur originally wanted to build this complex in honor of one of his favorite grandsons who passed away as they were trying to expand their empire into current-day Turkey. Now Amir Timur, his grandsons, sons, and some of his favorite teachers are all buried in this mausoleum. We have now made it to the Bibi-Khanym complex. Bibi-Khanym is a nickname for one of Amir Timur's wives, and she was known as the smartest and eldest wife of Amir Timur. And she built this entire complex in honor of Amir Timur when he came back from one of his trips to India. Within this complex, you have 3 different mosques. Right behind me is the main mosque that you see right when you enter the complex. And then you have 2 additional mosques on either side with the beautiful blue dome architecture, and the detail is just immaculate. So we are going to roam around and explore this incredible complex. This is one of the 3 mosques here in the Bibi-Khanym complex, so we're gonna go check it out because the inside, although it may not be as colorful and beautiful as the outside, it is beautiful in a different way. Let me show you. So I've walked into the inside of one of the mosques here in the Bibi-Khanym complex, and you can see on the top that they've started to restore with all the beautiful colors and detail. But then on the side, you could still see what it may have looked like many, many years ago. I think there's such a beauty when a building hasn't necessarily been restored and you can use your own imagination for what it would have looked like way back in the day. Right across from the Bibi-Khanym complex is the Bibi-Khanym Mausoleum. So this beautiful structure behind me is where Bibi-Khanym, one of Amir Timur's wives, was buried, and this entire mausoleum is dedicated to her. It is a beautiful structure with the classic teal dome on top, and it's just an incredible sight to see. And just experiencing all these structures and mausoleums and mosques really takes you back in time and makes you feel a little bit of what it was like back in history. Alright, so we are taking a little break from the sun, and we have come to a special restaurant here in Samarkand to get some plov, which is a famous dish not only in Central Asia, but mainly here in Uzbekistan. This is where it originates from. And plov is a dish with rice, carrots, onions, and some type of meat. In this case, it is beef. And look at what we got here. This is incredible. We have a huge pot of plov, and he's serving us some rice, and then he's gonna throw in some meat and some vegetables. Looks absolutely delicious. This is some traditional Uzbek food. So here we have 40 kilograms of plov, which serves about 500 people every single day. And it's a huge operation here. It's incredible. I'm so excited to try it.
Приятного аппетита, самаркандский наш.
Alright, so I am going to try plov for the first time. I am really excited. I have my traditional Uzbek plov here, and then some Samarkand bread. So I'm gonna dig in. Got some rice, some carrots, some beef, some onion. Gotta get it all in one bite. That is really good, really flavorful. The meat is super tender, super good. And then you have the thick, warm Samarkand bread. Delicious. Wow, that was some incredible plov. It was my first time trying plov, and I really think I was spoiled. It was absolutely delicious. If you come to Uzbekistan, you have to try the Uzbek plov. You won't be disappointed. Alright, so we have now made it to the famous Registan Square. The Registan Square is the most famous and iconic place in all of Samarkand. The square itself dates back to the ancient Silk Road and is where many people from all over the world would come to exchange goods. The square is also a place for big celebrations and where public announcements were made. Nowadays, there are 3 main madrasas surrounding the square. The word madrasa stems from Arabic, meaning a place to learn or teach, and many people would come to the madrasas to study Islam. We are now in the first madrasa that was built here in Registan Square. It was built by Ulugh Bek, who was one of the grandsons of Amir Timur, the great conqueror of Central Asia. Ulugh Bek built this entire madrasa in just 3 years. He was a famous astronomer, scientist, and mathematician. The classrooms where people would study Islam are all around the bottom floor of the madrasa. Today, they have been turned into beautiful souvenir shops where you can buy all things from silk to famous calligraphy here in Samarkand and so much more. But the architecture and the detail in the design is really what makes this place so beautiful, along with the history. So right behind me is the second madrasa that was built here in Registan Square. It was built many years after the first and was built by an old governor of Samarkand. Again, the detail, the color, and the architecture is absolutely stunning. At the top of the madrasa, you can see what many believe to be a tiger hunting a mountain goat. And legend has it that this is depicted here on this madrasa to enforce that you always need to be hungry to keep learning and keep expanding your mind. With that being said, let's go check out the inside of the madrasa. Hard to believe, I know, but the best of Registan Square is still yet to come. I am now walking across the square to the Tilia Kori Madrasa, which translates to goldsmithing or gold work, because the inside of this madrasa is supposed to be full of the most beautiful and unique intricate gold designs. I am so excited, so let's go check it out. Alright, so we have made it inside the third and final madrasa here in the Registan Square, and what makes this place so special is that not only is it a madrasa where many people came to learn about Islam, but it also houses a very beautiful mosque. This mosque is currently not active, but the inside is absolutely stunning. So let me show you guys what it looks like. The detail inside this mosque is like something I've never seen before. There's so much gold and blue, and it is so intricate. It is absolutely beautiful. That wraps up our tour of Samarkand, Uzbekistan. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a step back in history with me and following along the journey. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, and of course, if you are not already, subscribe down below, and I will catch you guys next week from Uzbekistan. See ya!